What's going on YouTube? It is your boy JoshXBarber back with another banger video. And if you guys are new to my channel and you're not subscribed, please make sure you guys go down and smash that subscribe button. Click that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any new drops, and it also helps out the channel. But without further ado, let's get right into this tutorial. So in today's tutorial, my client is going to be getting a high taper with no C cup, and we're going to be taking the top down to a 1 guard with the lever all the way open with the grain. And we're going to clean up his facial hair. We're not keeping the beard, just the mustache and the chin hair. I started off taking down the bulk on top with a 1.5 guard. Usually when I cut people's hair down to like a wavelength type of length, I like to go over it with a bigger guard first, just to see how that hair reacts with a guard that's probably one size bigger, just to see if I want to go lower or not, depending on the client's hair texture. So the 1.5 cut it down decently. It didn't lay it down as much as I would like, so I'm still going to come in with that 1 guard open. And my client has a cowlick also in the front. It's not really noticeable, but when you're up close you can see it. So right here I have my number 2 guard on with the lever all the way open, and I'm just going against the grain, kind of manipulating it so it can be even to that 1.5 close to that 1 guard open length without me going over it. Because sometimes if you go over a cowlick and you do the same motion as you did with the rest of the head, sometimes you can leave a bald spot because the hair is growing in different directions. And as you guys can see, as I'm using my number 1 guard with the lever all the way open, it definitely laid the hair down more smoother. It got a lot of those fly hairs out the way that were kind of sticking up and making his hair look like it was still like poofy looking. And I think this height right here fits him just well. So right here we're going to start off our high taper fade. We're not giving him any C cups, so we're going to start our bald line right at the corner where the C cup would begin, and we're going to kind of take it straight down in an angle to where the crease of the ear meets his head, and we're going to clean up his facial hair and hit the bottom of that guideline just to soften it up. And then I'm going to come in with my Babyliss lithium clippers with the lever all the way open, going up about a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to make sure that I go over it a couple times to get that guideline in perfectly. And then I'm going to close the lever all the way closed and hit at the bottom of the guideline, then open the lever 1 notch from closed, and it's blended right out. So for my next guideline, I'm going to go in with my number 1 guard with the lever all the way open, and I'm going to go up about another 1/2 inch and just go over it a couple times just to get this guideline in perfectly. So right after setting in this guideline, I'm going to come in with my number 1 guard all the way closed and hit the bottom of that guideline just to soften it up, so I can come back with my 1/2 guard and we can finish out this guideline. As you guys can see right here, I have the 1/2 guard on, and I'm just starting up under the guideline, flicking up to it, and you guys are going to see it just blend out perfectly. So I'm going to fade down for the rest of the high taper. I have my number 2 guard with the lever all the way open right here to start it off. And once I go over it a couple times, I'm going to drop down to the number 2 guard closed. And we're just going to walk our way down until we fade out this line of demarcation. So right here I'm going to come in with my 1.5 guard with the lever all the way open first before I do it closed, just to make sure that we soften up that number 2 guard closed area good so our blend can be nice. And then I'm going to drop down and close it all the way. Right here, as you guys can see, that line is kind of fading out for us, and that's what we want to see as we're fading down. So whenever you're dropping down in guards, you don't want to go up as high, so we can leave that transition a true transition. So right here, as you guys see, I have my number 1 guard on. I'm just going to be doing some detail work around the area that's kind of still dark, just to make sure that we get this taper fade blended how I want it to be. Every time you do all your steps in order, sometimes it doesn't come out perfect, and you have to come back and kind of go over any dark areas that you have to make it come out right. And then I'm going to use my razor comb just to thin it out a little bit in those dark areas to get the hair to lay down without cutting too much. So moving on to the neck taper, we're going to start with our bald line using my Babyliss Snap Effects trimmers. And I'm going to be setting this bald line straight across with slight of an arch shape just to create a nice fade transition. So I'm going to come in with my Babyliss lithium clippers with the lever all the way open. And I'm going to go up about a ½ an inch and making sure that I keep the width of the guideline the same all the way across, just so it can be even. And as you guys can see, my client kind of had his hair growing to the side on his right side, so I had to turn the clippers to kind of manipulate it. And those are the little things that you guys want to pay attention to when you're cutting your clients. And right here I have my lever closed all the way. Then I'm going to open it 1 notch from closed, and that's going to blend out that guideline perfectly. So next I'm going to go in with my #1 guard with the lever all the way closed, and we're going to go up about another ½ an inch. And like I said, keep the width the same all the way across because you want your fade to be balanced once you're done. You guys, whenever I set in any guideline, I make sure that I go over it multiple times to ensure that the length of the hair is cut to the specific length of that guard, because it will affect the next guard that you come in with. If the hair isn't cut to a certain length, it's going to affect the way that the next guard fades the hair for you. So right now I'm going in with my half guard right after that #1 guard closed. And I'm just going to go right up under the guideline and just flick up to it. And you guys are going to see it's going to fade right into that #1 guard. That's how you want your fades to be if you set in your guidelines properly and cut the hair to the length that it needs to be cut to. 9 times out of 10, depending on your client's hair texture, it'll fade perfectly. I have my #2 guard on right now with the lever all the way closed. I'm going to fade down for the rest of the neck taper. And as you guys can see right here, I'm just using my #2 guard to kind of soften it up so I can come back with my next guard. Right now I have my #1.5 guard on with the lever all the way closed. And I'm just going to fade right into that #2 guard area that we had. And like I said, we're fading down. So I'm not going up as high as I did with the previous guard. I'm just kind of tapering it so the transition can start to fade as I go down in guard size. So right after using that 1.5 guard closed, I come in with my 1 guard with the lever all the way open. And we're just going to fade right into that 1.5 closed area. And we're attacking that same dark area, that line of demarcation, but we're just not going up as high as I did with the previous guard. And as you guys can see, it's fading it out just perfect. So right after we're done with the fades, I'm going to move right into my favorite part of the video, which is the hairline. I'm using the new Wahl Fade trimmers. This joint made this cut go to the next level. So I'm going to sit back and let y'all guys watch this hairline process bring this cut to life even more. Let me know in the comments what's your favorite part of these videos. Is it when I'm cutting off the hair? Is it when I'm doing a fade? Or is it when I'm doing a lineup? Let me know, but either way it go, we got them looking fresh so far. I can't wait for you guys to see the end result. These Wahl Fade trimmers are definitely putting in work, especially when y'all see that neck taper. Y'all already know the neck taper is one of my favorite parts, and it really shows off what a good trimmer can do. As y'all can see, the thing's super crispy. Y'all seen how fresh this lineup was without the enhancements, but my client asked for a nice touch up with some enhancements to make it pop a little bit more. And right here I'm just going to be applying some enhancements. You don't want to apply too much. You want to have that right mix, and you want to know how far to hold it away from the head, just so when it sprays on, it's not too cakey. Right after applying the enhancements, I go over it with some holding spray, and this is going to lock in the enhancements to give it an extra hold. Then I come behind it with some cool air with my blow dryer, and then we're going to go over the hairline one last time with my trimmers. After I apply the holding spray, I like to brush the hair in just to get any stray hairs to come down, and just to make sure that the enhancements is in line with the natural lining. And as y'all can see, man, this thing is crispy. Like, super crispy. I'm about to show y'all the before and after just so y'all can get a better visual, but this thing came out too fresh, man. This joint fit him perfectly. This hot taper was sheesh. Let me know in the comments. Well, you guys, this was the before. He came in looking rough, but he came to the right place. I got him crispy. I got that fade right, man. Everything just on point. But without further ado, this is the cut. This cut came out so fresh. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments. And make sure you guys leave a thumbs up on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. And turn the notification bell on so you don't miss out on any new drops. You guys can follow me on all socials at JoshXBarber. I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace.